Hi everybody and welcome back to Los Genre Reddit Stories. This time I'm trying out the local church's bell tower. Let's see how this sounds. Now let's get started with today's story. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user Deleted. I, 24 female, just found a bunch of screenshots of my fiance's, 29 male, together 5 years, friend, late 20s female, saved to his phone. Looks like taken off her Instagram. I just had a baby and I'm feeling really hurt by this. Basically the title. I went onto our shared computer and noticed a notification next to his Gmail account that so-and-so just viewed the photo album from the birth of the baby I just had. I was a surrogate. I felt like looking at the pictures again, so I opened his Google Photos only to find a new top row of photos is all screenshots of my fiance's friend or acquaintance. All relatively sexy shots. A lot of her is in bikini, dressed up for the club, and in her Halloween costume. They all look like they were screenshots from her Instagram. She is very fit and very beautiful. The opposite of how I feel right now. It effing hurts really bad to see that. I literally had a baby a week ago. I have been recovering well so far, but my body obviously is not what it was. I did not let myself go during the pregnancy, and my body looks pretty average if I tuck myself into high-waist yoga pants right, lol. Before the baby, I was skinny fat. Thin but not fit and pretty curvy. I usually am not self-conscious about my body in its normal state, but I feel very self-conscious right now though. The thing is that if it was regular smut he was saving, I would not be bothered at all. I know we both use smut as a tool to take care of ourselves, and obviously we cannot have sex for a couple of weeks. So yeah, it would be no problem to me, but this feels extremely different. Like, I can just picture him all aroused, flipping through her pictures, being turned on and imagining himself with her, a person he actually knows in real life and could actually possibly start a relationship with. Like, now this person is a real threat to our relationship. Also, I know he has hidden locked folders on his phone that he saves smut to. I can't help but feel I caught these pictures at the perfect, or worse, time before he moved them to a hidden folder. Please note that I do not snoop on his phone. One time, he was showing me something on it and something happened that popped up the logging to the hidden folders. I immediately asked him about it and he showed me and explained to me that it was basically for smut and important documents, and I was fine with it. He has added on his phone for years and I recognize it is for privacy and security. I personally would never save pictures of a friend like that. Now, it has to be said that they are more acquaintances than friends. They used to work together and as far as I know, now are just friends on social media. I have no control over what he looks at and saves, and I don't want that. But am I wrong for being so hurt by this? Maybe this is normal and other guys would have just hidden it better, I don't know. There's a dinner party coming up and I'm supposed to be baking a pie right now, and we're supposed to go to my dad's house in a couple of hours after my fiance gets off work. I can't eat or bring myself to make a pie and pretend everything is fine. I don't even want to go to my dad's with him. I don't want to be in the same space as him right now. Well, OP, just to address this really directly, and I think I can speak for most men, is we don't do that. We don't go around saving sexy pictures of our friends to use later in imaginative ways. What your fiance is doing is actually pretty creepy in my opinion, and not a healthy thing to do in a relationship, of course, at all. And I can definitely understand that you feel hurt because, as you say, yeah, okay, smut, you could be okay with that because it's the whole fantasy thing, you know, it gets people off, fine. But the whole context changes when you know it's somebody that is part of their life, like an ex-coworker or something like that. I don't know if he still sees her, doesn't really matter. It is creepy. Now, I don't think she is a threat to your relationship. It's more your boyfriend or your fiance at this point because, well, we don't know what kind of relationship she has with him, but he's the one keeping her pictures. It's not like she's taking those pictures for his benefit and sending them to him. That would be a completely different thing. In any case, OP, this to me would be red flag behavior, and it's something that you need to talk to him about. And maybe just to be on the safe side, take a screenshot of this folder and what's in it, just in case. And what do you guys think about this whole thing? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Nerdy Handle says, that's creepy as F. You need to have a talk with your fiance, and in reference to another commenter, men are not just driven by lust. That's some of the most sexist BS I've ever read. I'm a man and have never done anything this creepy or sleazy. If he's done this, I wonder what. And to be clear, what I find creepy about this is the personal connection that he has to this girl. That's what I said. She's a friend. If he was just wanting spank material, he would go to one of the numerous websites and get off, but he's choosing to store risque pictures of someone that he has a personal connection with. This leads me to believe that he may have feelings for her, or my faith in humanity is too high and he is just a pure creep posting her pictures to Reddit for karma. Sleepy Pillow Princess says, had an ex who did this. It was pictures of a co-worker. She was always clothed but in suggestive positions. My ex said it was an inside joke. Told me I was overreacting, but the pictures never stopped, and then I found the earring. My experience? Time for a hard talk. Be prepared to walk away. Also, don't believe anyone here saying it's a guy thing. It's not. It's a creep thing, and creeps can be any gender. Agreed. Try to separate his actions from your recent pregnancy. What he's doing is not okay, and don't let him try to excuse it with being unable to have sex with you. Surrogacy is an amazing gift, and he should, as your partner, be supportive about it and your recovery. Also, take care of yourself. Postpartum hormones are rough, but your concern is justified. If you need to reach out to speak to someone, don't hesitate. Best of luck. Yeah, those girls says, honestly, I wouldn't even be comfortable with my husband having a special hidden smut folder, but maybe that's just me. Ew, are we 20-year-olds in college or what? I don't know. The whole idea that someone needs to hoard stashes of smut to jerk it to is weird to me. The internet is full of free smut. Why does he need a locker folder for his personal collection? That's weird to me. I don't like it. That would be a major issue to begin with. And now you know why it's kept under wraps. I am willing to bet my next paycheck this isn't the first time. And this isn't the first girl. And CMelly95 says, I had a similar situation happen to me, except it was pictures of one of my friends. It was while I was pregnant too. We almost broke up, but he ended up getting rid of his social media for a few months. Maybe see if he will delete his Instagram for a while. If he's going to be using social media to creep on girls he knows, he probably shouldn't use it. I feel for you. I know how hard it is. I'm still really insecure about my postpartum body, and it still hurts me to think about it. Feel free to message me if you want. Additional information from OP's comments. I would never be okay with someone knowing they collected my pictures for that. I guess I don't know for sure that is what he was doing with the pictures, but the screenshot timestamps are during his usual personal time, and he wasn't saving normal pictures of her in more conservative clothing or poses. I guess my feeling so hurt by this is enough to warrant a talk either way. It is pretty creepy. My only other explanation is a crush, and he saved her pictures just to look at or have or whatever, not necessarily to use to release stress, which isn't really any better. It's almost worse, like it would be even more personal than just thinking she is hot and trying to get off. Now, I just sent him a picture of the drive and told him it's creepy, and I don't know if I want to be around him right now. He did not deny saving the pictures, but his defense is that she is also apparently an Instagram model. As if that is supposed to make it less creepy. He still knows her personally, at the very least as an ex-coworker. Then he said, it is creepy, but I still look at smut. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. He thinks that her pictures equal smut? I don't know. I don't have an Instagram account and I don't know her name, so I can't look up her account to determine if it is normal. The pictures he saved, while definitely sexy, looked pretty normal, or an Instagram model smut type of account. If it was the latter, I would think there would be more risque pictures he could have saved. Alright, so most of us agree that the thing with the pictures is pretty creepy, and OP kinda confronted him and he had a defense, which was just crap. So I don't know about you guys, but I just want to go straight to the update to see how this story ends. But of course, before that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. Now let's get on with that update. I still feel really hurt. He wants to make things right, but I just can't think of anything he could do right now that would make me feel better. The first night I slept on the couch and he came over and started talking. I just couldn't stand to listen to him, so I put headphones on and upped the volume to drown him out. Pretty childish, I know. So I have no idea what he said that first night. We've been sleeping separately all week. I just can't bring myself to be close to him. I am used to cuddling up to him every night and I just don't want him to touch me at all. The dinner party was awkward. I had him come to dinner at my dad's because it would have been worse trying to explain or come up with a reason for why he wasn't there. Luckily, I hardly had to interact with him and no one noticed. The food my dad made was so amazing, it brought back my appetite a bit, and my pie turned out great too. As far as recovering from giving birth, physically I am doing great, and emotionally I think I am doing alright. I know being a surrogate is really weird to some people, but I honestly never felt connected to that baby, and I do not feel weird or anything because I do not have her. It's like I was just babysitting for 9 months and I finally got to give her back to her parents. Maybe postpartum hormones are contributing to my current dilemma, but I don't know. This past Sunday to Wednesday, we were on a vacation. It sucked being stuck in a car with him and in hotel rooms, and him kind of pretending everything was fine, but I wasn't going to throw away $1,000 worth of hotel rooms and activities over this. So, for our son's sake, I sucked it up and tried to enjoy the trip as much as I could while avoiding him as much as possible. We drove up to the Northern Californian coast. It was beautiful, and just the sunsets themselves made going on the trip 100% worth it to me. At one point, while our son was napping during a long drive, he started talking about how I made him feel like a piece of crap and how he hated the silent treatment. And he brought up everything that was wrong in our relationship except the picture thing, which just made me more angry. And I am not intentionally giving him the silent treatment, I just physically cannot bring myself to talk about the current issue without crying, and I just need to think and put myself together more before I can talk about it. He was talking about stuff like our apartment never being clean. He was in no way blaming just me. It's a joint issue we both need to work on. And how he talks too much sometimes. The only thing he said in relation to the current issue is that he feels like I don't trust him. Despite this, I actually do trust him not to cheat. Maybe that sounds crazy to some people, but I know him. We both grew up in families with parents who cheated and had bitter divorces that ruined our childhoods. We have talked about it a lot, and I guess I trust him enough to end our relationship on better terms than to cheat on me. I believe his saving the pictures is a completely one-sided, creepy thing. I have no reason to think that she sent him the pictures or that they have communication at all since they no longer work together. I might want to see proof of this later, but for right now, I do not think this is an issue of him cheating on me. More of an issue of him doing something very creepy that crosses a boundary. I could ask him to delete any pictures and make promises, whatever, but ultimately my insecurities won't let me feel anything besides hurt right now. Like, I need to work on myself and my self-image before I can even think about us and what me finding the picture means for our relationship. I hate my body right now, even though objectively I look effing great for just having a baby. No one believes me when I tell them, and I just keep comparing myself to this woman. I do think about how creepy this was for him to do, but I find that I cannot stop thinking about how I will literally never look like this woman. She's a conventionally attractive, petite, fit woman. I'm like a giant compared to her. I never thought I was ugly before, more unique looking and average and pretty. I feel ugly right now, and I thought I had found a person who loved me and thought I was beautiful, only to find out I'm not his ideal, more like the opposite, and that this woman is his ideal. It is so crappy feeling like this. Obviously, he is with me and not her or anyone else, so I really need to figure out myself before I can figure out this issue. It might be a while, to be honest. After thinking about it for a week, I think another part of the reason it hurts so much is because I just don't have eyes for anyone else but him. I don't fantasize about anyone. Even when I watch smut, it's like I use it to help me imagine us in those scenarios. I don't expect him to feel the same way and not fantasize about anyone else, but seeing the evidence of him thinking about someone he knows personally is 1, creepy, and 2, not anything I can relate to. Sure, I see a hot guy and think, that guy is hot. Or I can say I have had a crush on a coworker or friend. But it stops there for me. I don't think about them besides an initial reaction or thought when I see them. I especially do not stalk to their social media and save their pictures. In my opinion, these pictures, while mostly of her in a bikini and dressed for the club and in a sexy Halloween costume, just do not look like Instagram model pictures. They look more normal and candid than her purposefully trying to look sexy just for her followers. Like most of the pictures he saved, she was with family and friends. Ew. There was, I think, only one picture of just her and she was wearing a sports bra and short shorts, flexing at the gym. I haven't had Instagram in over a year, but I remember all the models and the constant selfies and booty and boobs in your face. These pictures are not like that at all. It's so effed up the more I think about it. So my plan right now is to work on myself and then we can talk about the future of our relationship. Right now, I'll focus on me. Thanks for all the advice and support. Well, OP, it sucks that you have to go through all of this and all the decisions that you're going to need to make in the near future. But hopefully, regardless of what happens to your relationship, you can get through it and you can be okay. And your son, of course, as well. So here's wishing you the best in the future, OP. Thank you so much for sharing and take care. And with that, I definitely need a mood booster post. So if you guys do too, then stick with me and let's finish the video with that. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user LadybugGal95. I don't think your kid will like my candy, lady, but whatever. Since there's only a week left of summer, I decided to take the kids to the local amusement park or water park today. As I've gotten older, the rides have gotten a little tougher on me. In addition, my daughter tends to get motion sick rather easily. I don't like the way motion sickness pills makes me feel, so I always take a Ziploc baggie full of ginger candy along to prevent and soothe nausea. Today I had chewy mango ginger candies, hard plain ginger candies, and hard lemon ginger candies. For those who've never had ginger candy, it is spicy. The lemon ginger is probably the mildest. The plain ginger is just plain hot. The mango ginger are sweet and spicy, but they also stick to your teeth like crazy. They are definitely an acquired taste. As we were standing in line for the log ride, I pull out my baggie. I choose the lemon one, as does my son 13. My daughter 12 asks for a mango one. While I'm fishing a mango one out, I hear the kid in front of us tell his mom that he, around 7ish, wants some candy. His mom distractedly says she doesn't have any candy. The boy says, but she does. He turns to me and asks for one. I tell him I don't really think he'll like my candy, but this time his mom has focused on the interaction. As the kid starts to whine that, of course, he'd like my candy, his mom just huffs and says, "You've got a whole baggie. Can you give him just one? Come on, don't be greedy." Oh, you said the magic word there, lady. I said, alright, and dig out a lemon one. I'm not completely heartless. That's when the kid whines that he wants mango. Mango is his favorite. I tell him lemon is better, but he insists on mango. I tell him it's kind of sticky as I hand it over. The kid rips it open, shoves it in his mouth, and gets in 3 quick chews while my kids stare at him. Then he actually starts to taste it and a look of horror comes over his face. He screams and tries to spit it out. He's jumping around and flapping his arm. His mom is panicking and asking what's wrong. He's screaming that it's bad and it's hot and he wants it out. His mom tells him to spit it out. That's when I pipe up with the very helpful, "It's really sticky. What's left is probably stuck in his teeth." He'll have to wait for it to melt off if he doesn't want to chew. The mom looks at me in disbelief and shrugs. Then she asks what the hell I gave her son. You probably should have asked that sooner, lady. I answer, ginger candy. It's good for nausea. I'm pretty sure I'd be dead if looks could really kill. We got to move up in the line 2 spaces though, because she whisked her kid off to a water fountain. I'd like to think the kid will think twice about demanding things from strangers. Plus, it was entertaining. Overall, the kids and I counted it as a win. Well, OP, she didn't want you to be greedy, which I don't think was the right word. It must have been selfish, because greed is a different thing. But still, she got the candy for her kid, and then she got the consequences. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.